Do you have the courage to stand alone? In a world where the noise of the crowd is deafening, where the world is constantly pulling at your attention, demanding your focus, the ability to stand alone is a gift, one of the greatest treasures you could ever hope to possess. Too often we find ourselves clinging to the company of others, seeking validation, seeking approval, not realizing that the real power, the power that can transform your life, is in your ability to be alone. It is in the moments of solitude that you will discover your true strength, your true purpose, and the unshakable belief in yourself that is required to achieve anything worthwhile. The greatest successes, the highest achievements, have never been forged in the comforting embrace of the crowd. No, they have been crafted in the quiet solitude of a mind that dares to think differently, to see beyond the horizon, and to trust in the vision that only one person can fully understand: you. Most people fear being alone. They fear the silence, the stillness, the emptiness that seems to stretch endlessly before them. But let me tell you something. It is only in the silence that you can hear the whispers of greatness. It is only in the solitude that your true self can emerge, unfettered by the doubts and distractions of the world around you. The journey of success, the path to your dreams, is not a journey that you take with a crowd. It is a journey that you take alone, for only you can see the destination clearly enough to navigate it with precision. There is power in being alone, but you must first recognize it. You must learn to embrace it, to seek it, and to find comfort in the solitude. When you are alone, you are free from the expectations of others, free from the judgments of the world, free from the constant noise that drowns out your inner voice. In that space, your mind can finally focus on what truly matters. In that space, your heart can connect to your purpose. And in that space, you will discover the force of will that can propel you toward the realization of your greatest desires. The truth is, there are few things more powerful than a person who has learned to stand alone. To stand alone is to be able to withstand the challenges that life throws at you without depending on others for validation or support. It is to be able to trust in your own ability to solve problems, to make decisions, and to take action, even when no one else believes in you. It is in this solitary space that your self-confidence is forged. It is in this space that you become the master of your own fate. Understand this. Those who seek to be constantly surrounded by others, who rely on the opinions of others, are at the mercy of external forces. They are carried along by the whims of the crowd, swept up in the tides of societal expectation. But you, if you have the courage to stand alone, are the captain of your own ship. You are the one who charts your course, who sets your sails, and who navigates the stormy seas of life. The crowd will not steer your ship for you, for they do not know where you are going. Only you know that. And the only way to find your true direction is to trust yourself in the quiet moments of solitude. Solitude is not a punishment. It is not something to be feared. It is an opportunity, an invitation to connect with your highest self, to discover the depths of your potential, and to cultivate the mindset that will carry you through any challenge that comes your way. In solitude, you are not distracted by the opinions of others, nor are you swayed by the fleeting emotions of the moment. You are free to think, to reflect, and to plan. It is in solitude that you discover the clarity of purpose that will guide you toward success. Now, I know that the world tells us differently. The world tells us that success is found in networking, in connections, in relationships. And while those things certainly have their place, they can never replace the power that comes from being able to stand alone. The power of solitude is not about isolation. It is about finding strength in yourself, about learning to trust your own thoughts, your own intuition, and your own capabilities. It is about understanding that the answers you seek are already within you. All you need is the space and the stillness to hear them. Consider the greatest achievers throughout history. Think of the inventors, the leaders, the visionaries who changed the course of human events. Do you think they found their ideas in the midst of a crowded room? Do you think their greatest insights came while they were distracted by the opinions of others? No. They found their greatness in the quiet moments of solitude. They found it in the hours spent alone, thinking, reflecting, planning, and believing in something greater than themselves. They found their power by learning to trust themselves and their vision, even when no one else could see it. You must do the same. The power to succeed, to build the life you desire, lies not in your ability to conform to the expectations of others, but in your ability to stand firm in your own beliefs, in your own ideas, and in your own vision for your future. To do this, you must first be willing to spend time alone. You must be willing to face the discomfort that comes with solitude. You must be willing to silence the distractions of the world long enough to hear the voice inside you that is guiding you toward your dreams. I understand that this is not easy. The temptation to seek the comfort of the crowd is strong. The pressure to conform, to follow the trends, to fit in is pervasive. But let me ask you this. What has fitting in ever done for you? What has following the crowd ever done for anyone? The answer is clear. It has kept them trapped in mediocrity. It has kept them from discovering their true potential. It has kept them from realizing their dreams. You were not born to fit in. You were born to stand out. You were born to make a difference, to carve your own path and to achieve things that others might deem impossible. But to do that, you must first be willing to stand alone. You must be willing to embrace the solitude, to welcome it as the powerful tool that it is. In that solitude, you will find your strength. In that solitude, you will find your purpose. And in that solitude, you will find the courage to pursue your dreams, no matter how daunting the journey may seem. When you learn to be alone, you will no longer be afraid of failure. You will no longer be paralyzed by the opinions of others. You will no longer be limited by the doubts and fears that have held you back for so long. For you will know deep within your heart that the only validation you need is your own belief in yourself. The only approval you need is your own unwavering confidence that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. The power of being alone is the power of self-reliance. It is the power of knowing that you have everything you need within you to create the life you desire. It is the power of trusting your intuition, of believing in your own abilities, and of taking action even when the world around you may seem uncertain. It is the power to stand tall in the face of adversity, to keep moving forward even when the road ahead is unclear. So, I challenge you to embrace the power of being alone. I challenge you to seek out the solitude that will allow you to connect with your deepest desires, to discover your truest self, and to build the life you have always dreamed of. Do not fear the silence. Do not fear the stillness. In those moments, you will find the clarity you need to move forward with confidence, the strength you need to overcome any obstacle, and the belief you need to create your own success. In the end, the only person who can truly determine your future is you. The only person who can shape your destiny is you. And the only way to truly unlock your potential is to be willing to stand alone, to trust in yourself, and to believe in the power that lies within you. The power of being alone is the power of independence, the power of self-belief, and the power to achieve anything you desire. Remember this. When you stand alone, you stand with the strength of your own convictions, the force of your own will, and the clarity of your own vision. There is no greater power than that. There is no force more unstoppable than a person who believes in themselves, who is willing to stand alone in pursuit of their dreams. So, dare to stand alone. Embrace the solitude, and in doing so, you will discover the greatness that lies within you, waiting to be unleashed upon the world. When you stand alone, you enter a realm where you are no longer bound by the limitations that the world has placed upon you. The world tells you what you can or cannot do, what is possible and what is impossible. It sets expectations, imposes boundaries, and shapes your perceptions based on collective opinions and the limitations of others. But when you choose to stand alone, you step beyond these invisible chains. You break free from the rules that the world has tried to enforce upon you, and you begin to define your own reality. You see, the crowd is filled with people who accept things as they are, who follow the same predictable paths because it is easier than thinking for themselves. They are shaped by the opinions of others, swept along by trends, and governed by fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of standing out. But you, if you choose to walk alone, you are no longer a prisoner of these fears. You become the creator of your own destiny, and you rise above the ordinary. When you are alone, you are free to think, to dream, and to innovate without restriction. This is where greatness is born. Greatness is not born in the comfortable spaces where everyone thinks the same, acts the same, and follows the same routine. No, greatness is forged in the uncharted territory of the mind that dares to think beyond the norm. Greatness arises from the courage to question everything you've been told, to challenge the status quo, and to dare to create something entirely new. And you cannot do this in the crowd. You cannot find your true calling while being drowned by the noise, the opinions, and the expectations of others. To stand alone is to be open to the possibilities that others may overlook. It is to look at a world that appears to be governed by limits and declare, "I am the exception. I am the one who will create a new reality." In those moments of solitude, you realize that you have the power to transform your thoughts into reality. It is in the quiet moments of reflection that you are given the space to examine your true desires, to connect with your deepest passions, and to establish a vision for your life that is uniquely yours. This is not to say that you will never encounter difficulty or obstacles along the way. On the contrary, you will face challenges that the crowd cannot understand. When you step away from the safety of the familiar, the road becomes uncertain, the path less traveled, and the way ahead may seem unclear. But I tell you this, in the unknown is where your true power lies. It is in the moments when the crowd retreats, when the noise fades, and when you are left standing alone that you will uncover a strength within you that you never knew existed. The road ahead will not always be smooth, but it will be yours to walk, and every step will bring you closer to the realization of your vision. The power of being alone is not found in the absence of challenges. It is found in your ability to rise above them, to move through them with resilience, and to trust in your own capabilities when no one else can see what you see. You must be willing to endure discomfort and uncertainty because that is where growth takes place. That is where the seeds of success are planted. If you are willing to stand alone, you will realize something that few others ever will, that the greatest investment you can make is in yourself. You are the most important resource you have. You are the one who determines your future. No one else. When you stand alone, you take full responsibility for your thoughts, your actions, and your outcomes. You no longer rely on the approval or validation of others to define your worth. You become the architect of your own life, and you design it based on your values, your goals, and your dreams. And that is an empowering realization, one that the majority of people will never experience because they are too afraid to walk alone. What you must understand is that the world is filled with distraction. Everyone wants your attention. The media wants your focus. The people around you want your time. But when you give your time, your attention, and your energy to the world around you, you are allowing those external forces to control your destiny. The power of being alone is in taking control of your attention, in focusing it entirely on your own dreams, your own aspirations, and your own future. When you do this, you align yourself with your highest potential, and you create the conditions for success to flow into your life. In solitude, you are given the precious gift of time, the time to focus on what matters most to you, the time to sharpen your mind, the time to reflect on your progress, and the time to course correct when necessary. When you are alone, you can truly assess where you are and where you want to go. You can look at your life with an unclouded perspective and decide whether your current actions are leading you toward your goals or away from them. This clarity is invaluable, and it is something that only solitude can offer. But this is not just about finding clarity. It is also about finding the courage to take bold action. It is about using your newfound strength, your sharpened vision, and your unshakable belief in yourself to take that first step, no matter how uncertain it may feel. When you stand alone, you are not bound by the limitations of the past, the fears of the present, or the doubts of the future. You are free to act, to create, and to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are building a future based on your own design. Now, let me share something vital. The power of standing alone does not diminish your capacity for connection. Quite the opposite, in fact. It strengthens your relationships with others, but only when those relationships are built on mutual respect, shared values, and authenticity. When you learn to stand alone, you become stronger, more centered, and more confident in who you are. This allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. You are not seeking validation from them. You are not looking to them for approval. You are simply sharing your journey with them, building a network of like-minded individuals who understand the power of independence and self-reliance. And in this way, the more you stand alone, the more you realize that you are never truly alone. Your vision, your mission, and your success will attract those who resonate with your energy, your commitment, and your purpose. You will build the right relationships, the right alliances, and the right partnerships, not because you are seeking them, but because you are aligned with your true self. And the universe responds to that alignment. Success is magnetic, and when you stand in your own power, you draw people who are equally strong, equally committed, and equally focused on creating greatness. The power of being alone is not about rejecting the world. It is about embracing yourself. It is about discovering the infinite potential that lies within you and nurturing that potential until it becomes an unstoppable force. The crowd does not hold the keys to your success. You do. The world does not determine your fate. You do. And when you learn to trust in your own power, when you learn to walk the path of solitude with purpose and determination, you unlock the door to limitless possibilities. So the question is no longer, can I stand alone? The question is, will I have the courage to stand alone and step into my greatness? The answer lies within you, waiting to be realized, and once you answer that question with confidence, once you embrace the power of being alone, you will find yourself on the path to a life of extraordinary achievement, a life that is shaped by your vision, your strength, and your unwavering belief in yourself. The world will stand in awe of you, not because you sought validation, but because you walked your own path with courage, conviction, and unwavering faith. You have the power to shape your destiny. It is time to embrace that power, to stand alone, and to create a life that is truly yours. The journey you are on, the path you are carving out for yourself, is not one that can be measured by the standards of the crowd. It is not a path that is defined by the expectations or limitations set by others. It is a path that is yours alone, one that can only be forged by your own thoughts, your own will, and your own unyielding desire to achieve what others deem impossible. To walk this path, you must first accept the fundamental truth that you are the sole architect of your life, and that the power to create your future lies entirely within you. But make no mistake, this is not a journey for the faint of heart. To walk this path alone requires a kind of strength that most will never come to know. It requires the courage to face not only external obstacles, but also the doubts, fears, and insecurities that rise from within. The crowd will tell you that you need them, that you cannot succeed without their support, but in truth, you are stronger than they can ever imagine. Your true power emerges when you trust yourself enough to walk away from the familiar, to step into the unknown with confidence, and to persist even when the road is unclear and the future uncertain. It is in these moments of uncertainty that your true potential is realized. When you face challenges that seem insurmountable, when the world seems to push against you, you will discover what you are made of. For it is in the face of adversity that greatness is born. The challenges, the setbacks, the moments when everything seems to be falling apart. These are not signs that you should turn back. These are the very moments that will shape you, mold you, and build your character in ways you cannot yet understand. When you stand alone, you are not just standing against the world. You are standing for yourself. You are affirming your commitment to your goals, your dreams, and your vision. And as you do so, you develop a resilience that cannot be broken by external circumstances. You learn to trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way because you have faced the hardest challenge of all, the challenge of standing firm in your own belief, no matter the odds. Many people never find this strength because they never embrace solitude long enough to allow it to form within them. They seek distractions, they seek validation, and they seek answers from others, never realizing that the answers they are looking for have always been inside them. The ability to stand alone teaches you that you have everything you need within yourself. The strength, the clarity, the wisdom, all of it comes from your ability to silence the outside world and listen to the voice of your own intuition. This is where true personal growth happens, not in the noise, not in the chatter of others, but in the quiet, focused space where you can connect with your higher self. When you are alone, you are no longer distracted by the opinions of others or by the demands of the world around you. You are free to explore the depths of your own mind, to tap into the infinite potential that exists within you, and to craft a vision for your life that is not bound by anyone else's limitations. To stand alone is to live intentionally, with purpose and with clarity. It is to make decisions based not on fear, but on your own inner compass, which knows exactly where you are meant to go. And once you begin to make decisions from this place of inner certainty, you will find that everything else starts to fall into place. Opportunities that you never saw before will begin to appear. You will begin to attract the people, the circumstances, and the resources that align with your purpose. The world responds to your energy, and when you exude confidence, clarity, and purpose, the universe will open doors for you that you never thought possible. But this requires unwavering commitment. It requires a willingness to face the discomfort, the uncertainty, and the fear that will inevitably arise when you step off the beaten path. You must be willing to continue moving forward, even when others doubt you, even when the road is rocky, and even when the outcome is uncertain. The power of being alone is the power to keep going, no matter what. It is the power to move through fear, to rise above setbacks, and to remain resolute in the face of adversity. When you are committed to your own growth and your own vision, when you are willing to stand alone for the sake of your dreams, the world will begin to take notice. The power that comes from solitude is magnetic. It draws people, opportunities, and circumstances toward you in ways that defy logic. You become a force of nature, capable of attracting everything you need to fulfill your purpose. The world cannot ignore someone who is aligned with their highest self, someone who is fully committed to their mission, someone who is willing to stand alone if necessary. It is easy to get lost in the noise, to follow the crowd, to seek approval from others, and to conform to societal expectations. But the truth is, those who follow the crowd are often the ones who never reach their true potential. They are the ones who play it safe, who live according to the standards of others, and who never discover what they are truly capable of. If you want to achieve extraordinary things, you must be willing to walk a path that is uniquely yours. A path that may seem lonely at times, but is always illuminated by the strength of your own belief. This is why the power of being alone is so essential to your success. It teaches you to rely on your own inner strength, to trust in your own abilities, and to take action based on your own vision. It helps you build the mental and emotional resilience required to push through obstacles, to overcome setbacks, and to keep moving forward even when the world seems indifferent to your efforts. And when you reach the point where you can trust yourself, where you can stand alone with conviction, you will be unstoppable. But let me caution you, standing alone does not mean rejecting help, collaboration, or support from others. It does not mean that you must isolate yourself entirely from the world. On the contrary, it means that you are strong enough to receive help without relying on it. You become discerning in your relationships, choosing those who align with your values, who elevate your vision, and who share in your commitment to personal growth. You become selective about who you allow into your life, because you understand that the energy you surround yourself with has a direct impact on your progress. Your relationships, your partnerships, your collaborations, they all become more meaningful when you stand alone first. Because you have taken the time to understand who you are, what you truly want, and what you stand for. You are no longer seeking validation, you are seeking alignment. You are no longer looking for approval, you are looking for people who share your passion, who understand your vision, and who will walk with you on the journey toward greatness. The more you stand alone, the more you come to understand the profound power that lies in trusting yourself. You become the master of your own fate, the captain of your own ship, and the creator of your own destiny. The world will not shape your future for you. You will shape it. And the only way to do that is by standing firm in your own power, by trusting your own intuition, and by taking action that is aligned with your highest purpose. It is time for you to realize the truth. You are not meant to follow the crowd. You are meant to lead. You are meant to create something extraordinary. And the only way to do that is by having the courage to stand alone, to trust yourself, and to pursue your dreams with unshakable confidence. The path may be difficult, but it is yours. And it is through that very difficulty that you will find your strength, your purpose, and your success. So, take a moment to reflect on where you are. Are you still relying on the opinions of others to guide you? Are you still looking to the crowd for direction? Or are you ready to stand alone, to embrace your power, and to build the life you were always meant to live? The choice is yours. But know this: when you stand alone, you stand with the power to achieve anything you desire. And that, my friend, is a power that cannot be denied. Now I want you to pause and reflect on something. Something deeply personal and transformative. The world is full of distractions, full of noise, full of voices telling you what you should do, who you should be, and where you should go. But the truth, the real truth, is that none of that matters as much as your own inner voice. Your soul knows what it needs, what it desires, and what it's capable of. The question is, will you listen? Will you trust it? Will you dare to walk that path, no matter how uncertain, how daunting, or how lonely it may seem? Because, my friend, the only path worth walking is the one that is uniquely yours. The only life worth living is the life that you create. And you cannot create that life in the shadows of others' expectations. You cannot build your dreams while drowning in the noise of the crowd. To truly live, to truly succeed, you must first stand alone. You must build your foundation on your own beliefs, your own thoughts, and your own willpower. You must be willing to step into that space where no one else can follow and look within yourself to find the strength, the wisdom, and the courage to push forward. I ask you now, are you ready to claim your power? Are you ready to take full responsibility for your future and stop letting fear dictate your steps? Are you prepared to stand tall no matter what the world throws at you and move forward with unwavering faith in your own ability to create the life you deserve? Understand this: there will be moments of doubt, there will be moments when the path seems unclear, and there will be times when the weight of your decisions feels heavier than you ever imagined. But these are the very moments when you must press forward, knowing that the strength within you is greater than any obstacle you face. Your resolve, your determination, and your willingness to rise again after every fall, these are the things that will define you. These are the things that will separate you from those who never dared to walk the lonely path, the ones who never discovered what they were truly capable of. The moment you stand alone, truly alone, in the silence of your own thoughts and actions, you will realize that you are not alone at all. In that solitude, you will find the deepest connection to the most powerful force in the universe, the force of your own spirit. And that force, once tapped, is unstoppable. It is relentless. It is the key to every success, every achievement, and every dream that is waiting for you to claim it. So I ask you now, will you take the first step? Will you embrace the power of solitude, of self-reliance, and of unwavering belief in yourself? Will you rise to the challenge of creating the life you've always dreamed of, without waiting for anyone else to give you permission, without waiting for the world to validate your worth? The time is now, the power is within you, and the path, though it may be hard, is yours to walk. Stand tall, stand firm, and know that you are capable of greatness beyond measure. The world is waiting for you to rise and show what can be achieved by one person standing alone, but unyielding in their belief. You are not just capable of success, you are destined for it. And it all begins with the decision to stand alone, to trust in your inner strength, and to walk that path with unshakable faith. The greatest achievements of mankind were not born in the comfort of the crowd. They were born in the courage of individuals who stood alone, who believed in themselves, and who refused to let anything stop them. So take that step, my friend. The world is waiting for your greatness, and it will begin the moment you choose to walk alone and embrace the power that is already within you. There is no limit to what you can achieve when you have the courage to stand firm in your own belief and take action with purpose and resolve. Now is the time. Let your journey begin.